Today we are with Mohit Aggarwal ji.
Ji, how are you doing?
Fantastic, Mohit ji, fantastic. Great to see you.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming live.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming live with this. So
I think this is a great job, Ajay, because you know what you're doing is empowering your audience, the world, with whatever information that you got to share. So I think it's a fantastic effort, and I think this is what, as business owners, as professionals, we owe to this world, to build capacity as we go along.
Definitely, and especially after the COVID times, you know, the world is turning, everything is turning digital nowadays. Like, you know,
Correct.
It is not an option. It is not a choice anymore. Everybody has to go digital. Like our education has gone digital, office has gone digital, you name it. Everything is there is digital these days. We are conducting all sort of meetings with clients. Earlier, clients used to, you know, push that you have to come and meet us. And now they say, okay, don't come, just send us an email or just come on Zoom and we will discuss. So that is definitely a completely you know, the whole world is digitally transformed, I would say. And it came sooner than expected.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. My journey has been like this also. You know, I remember one of my business gurus in 2013 told us, you know, it's time to go fully digital. Otherwise, the bloodbath will start, and a lot of small and medium-sized entrepreneurs will be wiped out, and you will not know what has hit you. And then what happened was in 2014, he called us. He'd given us time of 10 years. He says, in 10 years, you'd see the world going into a different realm altogether of digital marketing or digital space. And then in 2014, he called us again and he said, look, I was completely wrong. The bloodbath started already.
It's already started.
So you need to empower yourselves to you know, to stay abreast with whatever is happening in digital space. And we took it very seriously at that point of time.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did it because right now we are discussing about digital transformation. I mean, now I am teaching people how to transform digitally, and you are also in the same journey. You are helping people with you know, different kind of digital marketing and email marketing solutions, especially. So so there are a lot of people. Let me just say hi to everybody. We have Digital Samvad, hi Digital. We have Vidya, hi Vidya. We have Shalini, we have Adi, we have Mohit Jain, Fitpreneur Mohit, hi Mohit. This is another Mohit Jain. Karan, hi Karan. Nitya is here, David is here. Lovely. Amit is also here, podcaster. Lovely. So a lot of people from our group also are here. So welcome everybody. And before we start anything, let me just introduce. I mean, you know, I'm very short of word when I'm, you know, introducing Mohit sir. I mean, Mohit sir is a legend in himself. He has got so many years of experience, and he's owner, CEO of Asian Adventures, which is, I guess, in it's becoming world's #1 very soon. You know, natural. I would say, how should I put it? It's more of a responsible tourism, if I may call it.
Yes, it's an ecotourism company, experiential ecotourism company.
Right. So it's more of a responsible tourism when you are going out, making sure that, you know, whatever, he's got a huge, you know, this tourism company, and he always makes sure that it has to be an eco tour. It has to be a nature, close to nature. You know, you always respect nature whenever you are going out. So this is something what you are doing is really amazing, Mohit sir. And along with that, your digital agency, do you want to talk something about that as well? Natty Netters?
Yes. So like I said that, you know, in 2014, when our business gurus said that, you know, it's time to be taking digital marketing very seriously. Yeah. So, and it's not that websites were new or the internet was new. We evolved to a different stage. The world had evolved to a different stage altogether. But it's just that still the work was going on, and it was you had your own economic moats, and you had your own cocoons of work, and you knew that these are the pipelines through which you can get some business. So you'd say, okay, this is the pipeline I have, which is working for me, and it's giving me the numbers that I want. Yeah. And why should I spend more money on acquiring more leads or any of those things?
Yeah.
And that sort of
why to reinvent the wheel when things are already moving?
Already moving. Why do you want to spend money and build capacity when it's not required and when things are going okay? But once we got onto that bandwagon, we realized that things, whatever that we were doing, were so inefficiently done that by doing them digitally became far more and more effective and more in number and more consistent. And there was enough delivery pattern evolving, which was helping us, reach out to larger numbers.
Right.
Improving our visibility and all of that. So what happened was then we really started to focus on email marketing, and that's one space that I really loved, because you could play around with experiments and information seeking and giving, and see the emotions and reactions of your audience, and then also continuously build audience and store it. The whole purpose was to keep the data in hand. People used to say data is gold, and I wanted to know what that meant. Why is data gold? Why is your phone book or your visiting cards or your diaries or wherever we stored them, or Google contact lists, why are they important?
Yeah.
And then when we started to put them into one place and we started to use that data for segregated data for specific niche marketing, we realized that it is working. And the cost of acquisition of every client started to drop drastically.
Yeah,
I understand. So that really helped. And then what happened was during this lockdown period, when I started to analyze in the first month itself, that after having been to so many gurus and after having learned so much, I was putting everything in my own system to scale up my work. But I hadn't put it into a format where I could deliver things.
Okay.
And that I thought was the biggest mistake that I made. So I started to go back into all my learnings, all my notebooks, all my books, and I started to go page by page.
And then you created a system. Right.
I created a system that I could deliver.
Yeah.
So whatever that I learned, I fitted into my system, but it was not delivering to anybody else. It was working for me. Okay. But for example, if I have to recreate that engine, I won't be able to do it. So when that started to happen, I started to deliver it to 35 kids in America.
Okay.
Because one old client of mine came up and said, look, I'm retired and these kids are struggling. So I went my Indian way of Guru Shishya Parampara way, and I started to teach what I knew. And it was more about understanding the philosophy of life.
Right.
And how manifestation works, how your own longing works versus your mind and all of that. And I said, look, you can easily digitize a lot of it.
I'm sure.
And when I started to put that forward, it started to build for me. That's when I formed Natineta.
Lovely.
And Natineta is a company that excels in email marketing today. So that was, in a nutshell, a little journey about mine.
Before I get into Netinetters and learn more about email marketing and the strategies, what you use behind it, I just want to know about your story, because you wear so many hats. I'm really impressed by, so many things you are doing, and you are doing it such an ease, and you always have a smile on your face. I mean, how do you do all these things, seriously? And you have your tourism company. You do so many Shiva walks, which is a part of this as well. And you are handling this new upcoming digital marketing, which is a new avatar you have. So just tell us a bit about your ecotourism, and then we will move to Natty Natters.
So Asian Adventures came into being 27 years ago.
Okay.
When I quit working with Traffic India, which was illegal trafficking of wildlife, that was that's when I started my career, and I worked for a few years before I stepped out to form Asian Adventures, which was a nature-centric company. So that time we had the first mover advantage.
Yeah, and that time you worked with UN and WWF and all these partners.
Yes, I worked with Traffic India, which was part of WWF then.
Yeah.
I mean, it is still, the office is still there, and so it was a global organization, and I had the support of my boss, who's now deceased, but he's a man who, and my friend Vivek Menon, who's an authority on elephant conservation today.
Lovely.
In the world, and he's the man who really supported me, and we went further. And then Asian Adventures happened. We started to deal with nature-centric tours. And slowly, steadily, my own interest was in bird watching and wildlife and photography. And now today, Asian Adventures is India's #1 or is the largest bird watching tour company.
Lovely.
And so that's the transformation that sort of happened in 27 years.
So when it comes to a tourism company, how do you see that digital, and especially because you are expert in email marketing, how do you see that this digitization of businesses, how does it help in your tourism sector?
So what is happening, Ajay, is that digital AI is productizing even your emotions. So when we
so beautiful, so beautiful.
It's not just so it's productizing your emotions. It is taking your entire longing for being there to virtually having you there and experiencing it. If you by attending webinars, when people attend our webinars, we actually literally transport them to those areas, if they start to dream about it.
Yes.
And the whole idea is that how digitally, how beautifully we can actually turn those dreams into some sort of reality. It's never the destination, it's always the journey. Right? So we put them on the path, and then they start to browse through books and websites and telephone calls and many other ways.
All right.
And then we continue to engage with them bit by bit by sending them out emails or information or that's food for thought.
Lovely.
And then a lot of people are now talking to us for 2025 tours, 2023 tours, 2020. So since January 1st, when I started my webinars with Augusto, I said, I need to be on board. I need to just get going. So since then, I've done over 50 odd webinars, and I have added more than 2,000 new people to my list.
Lovely. Fantastic.
So
fantastic. Okay, cool. So if I talk about Natty Natters, and this is a very specialized email marketing company. So what kind of if a client is looking for an email marketing company, what exactly is the pitch? What exactly, what is the USP of Natty Natters?
You see the smile on my face because I want to use a dirty word right now.
Yeah, please.
I think email marketing is a bastardized term, which actually is more about value addition. It's value emails.
Yeah.
Okay. When we say email marketing, we're talking about that we are up for grabs. We want. But email is not like that.
Okay.
Email is to give and to give and to give and to give. Okay. So whoever is wanting to get into email marketing must know how to give. Right? So only when you give, this entire nature has made no pipeline to get anything back.
Yeah, it's always
because
giver's
you can
gain.
only give.
It is always a giver's gain.
Correct. Correct. That's the BNI philosophy.
Yeah.
So they agree with it. So what happens is when you start to use your email marketing, you whatever benefits that you get that I will tell you, but the idea is to showcase your expertise to other people for them to benefit, for them to take home something from that, right? Not for you only to be a hero.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
Because you're an expert, so you're anyway a hero. No problem with that.
So can I say that email marketing emails actually, in your language, actually, the emails are actually a way to enable, establish yourself as a leader, as a knowledge giver, as an authority of your specific domain, so that people can imbibe that trust in you, and hence, you move forward with the next things.
So that's perfect, but I would change the order.
Yeah.
I'd say that that for people to believe you, you need to have trust.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you do is you actually give them all that they want. They're hungry for information. As a species, we crave connection, right? So you make those connections. You bring yourself back to that world which they have lost out from you, or with you.
Yeah.
And you bring that world back, so that they say, hey, Mohit, you remember we went there? Hey, you know what happened then? And then there'll be a lot of other people who may not remember you or who did not get engaged with you, but they know you as name, right? So it's not you. It's how they feel about you being there. Yeah. It's a very thin line. So it's like Rubik's cube.
Yeah. You need
to know the last colors, how you have to fit them in.
Yeah.
And if you know that, email marketing is the loveliest methodology. And you know what? It's got, if you go to internet, there are oberlos of the world who are talking about it.
Yeah.
40 to 42x ROI,
40x.
Which is absolutely maddening. Yeah. So there is no other digital tool that gives you this ROI.
Lovely.
Which email marketing does.
Fantastic. And a lot of people are saying that email marketing is an old technology and nobody uses email marketing. This is the time of Facebook ads and Google ads. So where exactly do you think, what is the future of emails now? Value emails, if I may call it.
So value emails are not going to die out. Not soon at all. This is like a rocket.
Okay.
So if you got your data, if you got your Facebook ads or Google ads or anything that you're running, these are rocket thrusters. So when you go further, when your rocket goes up high, and it needs to drop the thrusters when the fuel finishes. Otherwise, the sheer weight will make the rocket collapse.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need to evolve and emerge out of those rocket thrusters, and it's a number game. So if you've got a large database, which is your own database for the kind of value that you've given, and let's say today you've got 2,000, tomorrow you got 10,000, then you got 30,000 or 50,000, then your cost of acquisition will go down, because then you won't have to spend so much money on your advertisements.
Okay, so once you bring in the numbers, and after that, the more you push, the push can be with email marketing only.
Correct, and then we can go wrong by acquiring somebody else's data.
Yeah, that's a big problem, because people try to just download those millions and thousands of email addresses, which are, personally, I also feel that that is the worst thing you can do to your brand. Yeah, absolutely. So only the validated acquired numbers, email IDs should be you should pitch in for. Completely all right.
Yeah, that's what they say in digital marketing. You can have 1,000 likes, but how about 100 loves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. So what apart from email value emails, what we are doing here right now in Nettinators? Are we doing social media, any kind of an engagement? Are we helping brands to grow further, websites?
Yes. So websites is something that we don't do ourselves.
Yeah. Let me just move a bit. Coding. Yeah, just putting my phone on charger.
And then,
yeah.
And then what we do is we also we use many tools to take out information what people are searching. You know, Answer the Public or Google Keywords or other methods or Google My Business. So I am in love with video marketing.
Okay.
I am in love with videos. You have to understand that when I send you a letter by post, it's your prized possession today. You'll keep it. You know, my mother kept my nanny's letters for ages. She still has some. Okay, those letters are priceless. Yeah. But nobody sends letters today because everybody is on a fast track.
Exactly.
Now, when you send out text to emails or anywhere else, you know, emails will get stored in your inbox, and the shelf life is huge. But when you send out text on WhatsApp or any of these instant messaging systems, it's only text. Now, when you add a bit of photo, you know, the text turns into a visual, you know, comprehension. Yeah. It sort of it takes you into a different domain altogether. But that also has little lasting effect. I'm not saying that it completely goes away. But then if you add a video to it, then you're one-to-one with that video, correct? The video has the text in terms of its voice. Yeah. The video has the face to the name, and it's got the message. Now, for example, if you want to talk to somebody who or deliver a message, which may be a little complicated in terms of receptivity, you can do your job and sit and relax and wait, because then that person's own emotion and his inner self will be able to process the message how he perceives it. Today evening, when he sees a message, if it's too complicated, he may or may not respond to it right. Next morning when he's fresh, he's going to see a video again, and then better sense will prevail, and he say, okay, this is the action I got to take. So the power that it has. Then if you put those videos through your email marketing, there are statistics that they say that your rate of clicks goes up by 300%.
Yeah.
You know,
and nowadays I think you know, the size of videos and all these things are also doesn't matter. Like we are talking about videos right now. We have hundreds of Mbps of speeds right now with us. So I don't think the bandwidth is not a problem anymore in today's time. Earlier, I can understand that initially it was a problem. So, okay. And
also, I think webinars, they just do the job. You know, it's the biggest marketing tool that I have.
All right. So when it comes to webinar, so let's say, let's dissect it again. Email marketing, when we say we have to validate the thing, we have to validate through any kind of a landing page where people will show their interest and saying that, yes, I'm interested in your content. And then only we will start sending them emails, right?
Yes.
But when it comes to webinar, that's a completely different story, because you are inviting people for some, you know, maybe most of the people you don't even know them and they don't know you. And they are coming for the first time to see you. So just take us through the journey of webinar. What exactly it is, how do you pitch it, and you know, how do you propose your ideas in webinar, and what is the next step after webinar?
So I think the greatest thing for us to get people to webinars is the kind of communication that we use.
Yeah.
You know, if our communication are headlines, our sub-headlines, our pitches, the story part on the landing page that you give, right? So whatever that lead magnet that you create, right? It's so when a person goes through that, and if it's pressing enough, the person will definitely click that, and then you have something to give them in return as well.
Right.
You know, there's a reward to be given back, the cheat sheet or some downloaded loadable stuff. And then you get the lead. That lead is then captured by the tool, something like MailChimp or GetResponse or any of these things, right? And then it starts to work through autoresponders. And then that person is in your grip if you're genuine, if you're authentic, if you, if your communication, energy travels. You see, everything that you do is energy driven. It is not that you can, you can't go wrong with that. If you go wrong with that, it's not going to work for you. Those people start to get interested in you. So there are science patterns of 5, 11, 16, 21.
Yes.
If you go to market sales statistics, they'll tell you that 5 touch points, 11 touch points, 16 touch points, 21 touch points, they work for you. I opened somebody's email, which I did not delete because I thought it was very important. I subscribed to it once, but I never had the time for 3 years. And I opened the 100th email of that person, and he did that business with me.
Yeah.
Right. I never looked at those 99.
No,
so that's
I completely agree with you on that part, because I remember I joined one person, and I just stumbled upon the landing page, and I started, reading about it. And next thing was that I gave my details, and obviously the next thing was I started getting the emails. Now I liked the idea, what the gentleman was proposing, but I said, okay, I'm busy right now. Maybe I'll read the email later. Another email came. I said, okay, maybe not the time. Another email came. I was busy, but then there was a sequence of emails. And every time there was something new, something knowledge, something interesting. And one day I sat, okay, I was, one of these maybe weekends or something, I was free, and I just, went down and started reading all the emails. I read about 50, 60 emails at one go. And then I realized that, okay, the kind of a knowledge you have, it's all there in your inbox. And whenever you can go and, read, learn it again.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the sheer power of numbers that stay with you as information and knowledge, which you can harness over a period of time, is the power of emails that you deliver. And then, of course, how you want to increase your open rates, how good is your subject line, how good is your content.
Those are all technical stuff.
Yeah, whether you want to give a story, or you want to give some information, or you want to, warn them about something which could go wrong in their business, or you could even be talking to your friend circle and sending them something which is more meaningful for them, So that sort of builds up your capacity as well.
Lovely. Fantastic. So I think for people who want to learn digital marketing, or people who want to learn emails, value emails, how they can learn about it. Is there anything which you can give them any tips or something like that, or can you help them as an agency with those for those people?
So there are two things. One is that I'm a follower of Chanakya.
Okay.
And Chanakya very clearly says that when you've gone past your bread and butter struggle, then you got to be not a container, but you got to be a pipeline. So as a professional or a businessman, my job in this world is only to make this place a better world, right? By giving them, by evolving, by doing whatever that I've got. Okay, it may be transactional in nature. That's no problem. But the point is that if I'm a container, then I'll put everything into a container, and the last layers will rot.
Yeah.
But if I'm a pipeline, everything will flow through me into the system where it needs to have, right? So we need to empower whatever that we benchmark and we reach. Now the idea is to empower. So what I do is I give out free classes almost every week, which people can join.
All right.
And if they want to join a course, that will be launched in about 3 weeks' time.
Okay.
But I also take corporate work from corporates and companies for their digital marketing.
Lovely.
Okay.
Lovely.
So it's about the email marketing, and I help them set their database. It's not forever. So we would have 6 months, and then 6 months I'll deliver whatever their needs are, make them self-sufficient, and then tell them to do it themselves. Okay. If they still want hand-holding, that's no problem, right? So those are the 3 methodologies that I use, and they work beautifully well. And people who do not want to spend money, I actually handhold them and I say, okay, go ahead and join my classes for free. I'm going to give you lots of tips. But you come back and you say you haven't done it, then you wasted your time with me, you know. And there is no, if you got so much time to waste,
then they can't.
Khuda can't help you.
Nobody
you know,
can help.
Nobody can help.
Nobody can help.
Yeah.
But definitely, please share the link so that I can maybe I can reply in one of these in this video. So I'll put a comment.
So what I'll do is I'll just put. It's very simple.
Yeah.
It's natinetta.com, and here it goes. It's as simple as that.
All right.
I think .com has gone a little away.
Yeah, that's okay. NATTYNETTER natinetta.com. So you go there and you can register. Anybody can register themselves for your free classes.
Correct. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
And this is how, you know, and Ajay, with your knowledge and your capability and your you know, your journey through this entire digital world, I think you have so much lying with you to deliver, and which you're delivering already through these channels. I think it's a wonderful thing you're doing. The thing is, one thing which bothers me right now is misuse. Okay, because this is sea of information. It can ruin lives as well because it is so addictive.
Very true.
It is overload of information.
Always.
And it can be disastrous because it can actually dismantle you piece by piece. So you must know, folks, if you want to go into a digital realm and you want to engage yourself on Instagram or Facebook, you must know exactly what you want. Just take that and do not take anything else. Otherwise, it'll fragment you with information and you will not have enough time for your inner journey.
I understand.
You go inside, you put all the pieces together. You go outside, those pieces split.
I think that's a very important thing because, you know, in today's time, we all have, you know, overflow of information, overflow of knowledge. Everything is just a click away, and nowadays you don't even have to click. It is just, you know, just speak out. Hey Alexa, just give me this, and then it gives you that. So by just asking if you are getting everything from a, you know, genie, so people really don't value the information in today's time, and they are also confused which information is important for them and which is not.
Yep, absolutely. The second thing is fossil fuels. You know, I'm a conservationist at heart. So if you and I, let's say we have to do business, right? Why do we have to meet physically till the time we don't reach a stage where we really need to shake hands? And we need to go through various, you know, the rigmarole of.
Nobody wants to shake hands in today's time.
The idea is, so let's have jappies instead of shaking hands.
No, in COVID times, nobody is blowing candles on the cake. Nobody is shaking hands. People are back to namaste, which is fun.
So driving from Noida to Gurgaon is not needed. You know, flying to America for one contract is not needed. You do all of that. No problem with that. But do it when your deal is mature. So you're going to save a huge amount of time, effort, energy, resources. Those fossil fuels that we're burning through our cars and creating pollution and making other people work so hard in those oil rigs.
Very true.
We don't need to do that, and we can actually conserve resources.
So tell me about capacity building. How it is important in the emails and social media.
So when we were running Asian Adventures before COVID, when it was when it was booming, that time we used to have a very large team of digital marketing, a lot of techies, a lot of people, but they were all working for Asian Adventures and the tours. When lockdown started to happen, a lot of people left for home and some people stayed on. And then when we started with Natinetta, a lot of our team that was not oriented towards digital marketing started to come to me and say, can we also learn this? Because then suddenly they saw that everybody was moving towards digital marketing. And I said, wonderful. This is a time, where we need to stop, see, and learn. So you'll be surprised if I told you that right from the office assistant to the taxi drivers who were with me, who are with me, and including those people who had no clue about digital marketing, including our accountants,
all right,
start to take on digital marketing.
Wow, how beautiful.
Today they're just helping each other. So what has happened is that over a period of time, they become enablers.
Yeah.
So they are not roadblocks into anybody's system. Earlier, it was all sort of, it was departmentalized, or they were living in their own sort of work domains, and they'd say, "Oh, but this is not what I know, and this is not what I'm supposed to do, and this is what I'm supposed to do." So, but now it's a melting pot.
I understand that.
So
in today's time,
everybody's tried.
In today's time, we don't have teams and groups. We have tribes and communities. Everybody is helping each other, and everybody is growing together, which is a beautiful thing. And just by thinking about tribes and communities, I just, the last thing which I wanted to ask you, and I guess which is the most important, is that, how important is, how important is explaining yourself? I would say, what is the importance of a storytelling when it comes to sending emails to other people? How storytelling changes the whole dynamics of the whole communication?
So let's say I met you 20 years ago in a party. Okay, you look very different. You didn't have specs. You had not grade then, and you were probably half your size. And you handed out your card to me. You told me that you were working in so and so company as so and so, and you were a very illustrious sort of a man who did whatever. But then I forgot who you were, and we met 20 years later, and we had no recollection of each other at all. But in one avatar, you told me a story. You told me a story of your 350cc bike that you were driving across Jalori Pass, and it started to snow, and there was frost on the road, and you almost skidded. And then, but you were saved by the villagers. And these villagers took you. I'm just making it up. I'm just making up the story, right?
That's the magic of it.
So you sat in the dhaba, and they fed you Maggi noodles, and that Maggi noodle, oh man, there was full of chilies, right? But the point is that there was this man called Darshan Singh who came to rescue you, and he sat with you. He took you home. You spent the night there. He had quilts which were there for his daughter's dowry. But you needed them, so you opened up those new quilts for you.
Wow,
right?
Beautiful.
And
beautiful.
then, and he didn't have a problem with that. And next day you said namaste and you left. I will not forget this story. So if I don't forget the story, if I forget you, that's okay. But I will not forget your story. And since there was this gentleman, Ajay Singh, Mr. Singh, or one person I met, and he had the story to tell, right? So this is the power of the story. How can I forget you? I can never forget.
You can forget the name, you can forget the face, but you can't forget a story.
Exactly. And next time I see you, I said, you resemble a lot.
Like the guy
like the guy I met 20 years ago, and he told me this story. Are you the one? Yes, absolutely. So you understand the power of story. And then that's the story. Those are the stories that you can deliver through your email marketing in short spurts, in videos, in various ways. Your introduction. If I say that, look, I have 4 children, and I have 1 son and a daughter, and 2 non-humans. One is a Labrador, and one is an SKP African grey parrot. And so these are 4 children. And people say, in today's age, who's got 4 children? How does this guy have 4 children? So 2 are non-humans and 2 are humans. So
beautiful. So I think understanding and communicating your whole heart out, communicating what do you feel and how do you want to help people. I think that is more important. And when we talk about the enabling tools like digital marketing and value emails, those comes hand in hand. But first, what is the most important thing is that the content is the most important thing, whether you put it in a form of an email, text email, a video or an image or anything. But the value is the more important thing. The wisdom, when it comes from inside, that comes from your experience. When the wisdom, when you transform it, when you give it to the world, using all these tools available, which is we all know in the market, and so that is when the connection becomes from one heart to another heart. Lovely.
And when you're creating content, if you know the science of creating content, it is not hard. But if you don't know the science of creating content, you get up in the morning and say, I want to write something, but I don't know if this is acceptable. I don't know what to do about it. So you will always find that a challenge. So what I do is, in some of my classes, I also teach how to look at the content and how easy it is. It's not something that you really need to struggle with. It's very easy to create content.
Yeah. In our advertising language, we call it how to think laterally.
Yeah. So that's too cumbersome for me to grasp. But yes.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mohit ji. Thank you for your time. I think it's been lovely.
Thank you. I hope everybody enjoyed this.
I really hope so. And I will share the details. I will share this video with other channels as well. I'll try if I can just crop it and put it on YouTube. And also share the link with everybody in the group so that we all can learn from your knowledge and your experience. And
thank you very, very much. Thank you for being an enabler, and
thank you
for giving this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.